Hey, chickadees. Today, we're going into stealth mode and we're going to become the observers of our lives. And it's going to be very interesting. So come on in and join us. All right, chickadees, welcome into today's episode. Today we are pulling again from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, my future bestie, part of my BFF posse, Colette. So just saying, I'm going to meet you next year. We're going to be friends. I'm going to love it and you're going to love it. It's going to be mutually beneficial and reciprocating and all the things that we both love. So anyway, enough digression about how much I adore Colette, and we're going to be in each other's orbit next year. So the card that I pulled tonight is to share with us that our guides directed me to, because you can't make this shit up. So is card number 49. This is the Observer. And this is a very interesting card. I love it because it is absolutely reflecting where I am right now. So I don't know if you feel like I do. Put it in the comments if you do. But here's how I feel. It is time to step back and watch and really understand what's clearly going on. Get that clarity. That's what's important. Clarity and discernment. And we can't get those if we're not observing. So that's why this card is so stinking important right now, especially to me. So, but if you're feeling the same way, put yes in the comments for me. So I know this is hitting home with some of you, but this is all about being objective, okay? And understanding that we have a certain perception about life, and that's all it is. And each one of us have a perception. So did you know that you create, and I've said it so many times, so you know the answer is already yes, but you create your own reality. But the reality that you create is not the same reality that I create. It's not the same reality that your neighbor creates. It's not the same reality that your children created or your dog creates or your cat, because we're not going to leave cats out. It's everyone literally creates their own reality, and we create it through our perception. And our perception and our perspective is shaped by things that have happened to us in the past and the things that we expect to happen to us in the future. Last week, we talked about here and now, which is about remaining in the here and now, remaining in the present moment, even though the present moment also doesn't really exist. Past, future, present, none of it really truly exists. But in the here and now, that's where we remain. And that's where we have the most power. So we can literally shift our perspective. We can change our past. We can dictate our future and absolutely create our present moment and our reality. Especially when we understand how to do this by being neutral and staying at a distance. We can very clearly see what's going on and we can shift it. It's all about how we perceive it and what we're looking for, honestly. So I know I mentioned it, I think it was last week when I don't know, some point last week or the week before, I talked about how much I love Subaru Outbacks. And this is just one example. And I want you to try this. I want you to try this tomorrow. Think of a car that you like and that you've always wanted to have but never had. And if you don't have one of those because you have everything you ever wanted, then just think of something that you just comes to mind that excites you, a car that excites you. And then when you're out driving tomorrow, pay attention to how many of those you actually see on the road. Every time I do this, and I almost always do it with Subaru Outbacks. I did it with Mercedes. I still do it with Mercedes Benzes a lot. See how many you see, because the thing is that whatever you're looking for is what you're going to see more of. And that's the game, is to understand with something as relatively benign as a vehicle. You know, if I see 20 Outbacks on the road tomorrow, I know it works, right? But it's to prove to yourself that what you put your focus on is what actually grows and what will manifest into your reality. And that's what we're really talking about when we're the observer. We can step back, we can take a big view and be neutral and assess what's going on. And we can say, hey, I prefer this, maybe I don't prefer this, but if I focus on what I don't prefer, I'm guaranteed to get more of it. So we can shift our perspective and our perception to focus more on what we do want and celebrate everything around that while not focusing as much on the things we don't like, and watch them kind of fall away over time. So I had a situation, I think I've talked about this on the channel, but it's been a long time since I did, but I had a situation over the summer where I was going to an event with friends, and there was a bit of drama around this event, and it was a significant event that was happening with a group of my friends, and significant in that it was one of those big events that, marriages, funerals, that one of those kinds of events. And I remember getting up that morning of that event and thinking about some drama that had happened around that I had been informed of. And Tina had stayed back here and she was at home. And I remember thinking and feeling a little anxious about going to the event. We'll just call it that, because I didn't really want to be around the drama. I wanted to be around the celebration, not the drama. And so there had been enough of this that had kind of built up, a concern and anxiety that had built up in me, that I sat down to meditate about an hour or so before the event, and realized, actually I remembered, because sometimes I don't remember this stuff either. And I remembered, oh my gosh, yeah, that's right. If I don't like my reality, all I have to do is timeline jump. And really what I mean by that is change my perspective about it, change my expectations, maybe not have expectations or attachments, but change them from expecting the negative to being open to all possibilities. And so I sat down to do another meditation when I realized that I had that opportunity ahead of me. And I got up from that meditation and I just knew that event was going to go very, very smoothly. There was going to be zero issues that came up and were expressed or voiced or in any way concerning. And went to the event. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time and a great celebration, and it worked. It worked. It really, really worked. And so, I know you're probably like me and you think maybe every now and then it's like, does this shit really work? Or is this just me? And then something like this will happen and you're like, oh my gosh, does this ever work? And why would I live my life any other way? It is magical. You can create your own reality. You can change your reality if you don't like it, just through the power of your own perception. And that's what this card is really looking at. So this fox, I love that it's a fox, first of all, and it looks like he's sitting on an egg. And so there's a fox and hen thing going on in the background here. That this fox is observing the moon. So he is looking from a distance to the stars, being an observer of, I'm going to say, patterns. I was just with a client earlier on a clarity call, and we looked at patterns over the last year, and it was very enlightening for me too. So I'll tell you, if you sign up for a clarity call, I can guarantee you I'll probably get more out of it than you do, because they are fun. I really, really love them. And I love watching people get what they need. And I just love how the guides are always providing. So you've got this fox, and I keep looking down here at the card, and he's looking up through his telescope up at the moon and looking for patterns, right? Or maybe he's looking for the sparkling stars and for angels and other beings up in the sky. And he's just observing the world around him. He's not in action either. So he's not standing and doing this. He is sitting and doing this. And so that's really when this happens. We take that observer role, we get still, and we've talked a lot about stillness on this channel. Stillness doesn't mean that you're not in action. Stillness means that inside your deep waters are still, right? There might be stuff going on, in your life. And you may have a lot of activities that you're involved in. I do. If you could see my calendar, you'd be like, oh my God. So I do that. But it doesn't mean that you're not in stillness, right? And it doesn't mean that you're not in observer mode. And so this is what we're being invited to do. Step into observer mode, really look at what's going on, allow what's going on to teach us the lessons that we're here to learn right now. It will. We've only got a few weeks left in the year. So if you've been on this channel for a while, in November, we were like, we're going to slow down and we're going to do some self-assessments and we're going to really dive deep and look and examine ourselves and allow ourselves to be prepared through the rest of the year for what's coming in 2026. And it's the go slow in these last month and a half or so to go very fast in 2026. And it is going to be fast. And so this is another reminder of that as well, is to just allow yourself to be still. Be observant, be discerning. I used the word this morning. This morning with a friend of mine, I used the word extreme discernment. So I'm not yet exactly sure what that means. I know my guides are going to teach me what that means. So they are teaching me what that means. And so stay tuned for that. There might be something later this week on extreme discernment once they kind of like let it sink in and then throw a card at us to talk about it. So, but yeah, being in an observer role, it's a very, very, I think it's fun, a fun place to be, a very fun place to be. And it's really necessary because we are going to have a lot thrown at us next year. And so we're going to need to be in a position where we can quickly be that observer and really see clearly what's going on and make quick decisions that keep us in alignment with who we really are. Because we're divine beings, every single one of us, every single one of you, absolutely a divine being with more power in you than you can possibly recognize. And I mean that with all of my heart. So chickadees, that's it. That's a wrap for today. We will probably have the interview coming out tomorrow with Dr. Becky Whetstone that will wrap up our relationship week last week. So hopefully it'll come out tomorrow. It's prepped, and she's reviewing it right now, and then we will publish it. So, and by prepped, I'm using that term loosely because it's my first time with two of us, and I think I might need some help. So anyway, you tell me when you see it, but it's a little wonky. So she did a great job. I did okay. The technology part was the part that was a little bit wonky. So we'll get that figured out. So you got to start somewhere. And anyway, so I hope you have a fabulous day. And remember to be in observer mode. In fact, when you go into that and you decide what car you're going to look for, during the day, put a number down in there to tell me how many of those cars you actually saw. So I'll play this game too. This will be fun. And I'm going to look for Subaru Outbacks. That's already a given. I don't care about the color, just is an Outback. That's all that matters to me. So anyway, have a wonderful day, chickadees. I love you all. And we will see you here next time on Mojo Mysticism. Mwah.